All right, ladies and gentlemen, working people, the leads to Screen Rant. And this, I don't even know what you call it. After Final Fantasy, Magic the Gathering needs to add this classic RPG series next. Okay, um, no. I mean, I don't think they did badly with Final Fantasy. Um, I'm just not sure we should have all the crossovers. I'm just not sure that's a positive thing. I'm not sure that's a good direction. Okay, so Magic the Gathering's numerous crossovers have always been exciting. That's that's overly optimistic, but the hype surrounding Final Fantasy Collab was palpable, and that's true. They did very well. They did very, very well. Um, they're all enjoying the Final Fantasy decks. They've already enjoyed Lives of Doctor Who. No one enjoyed that. Fallout. Mm, Warhammer 40K. Warhammer wasn't that bad. And there's another series that deserves the Final Fantasy treatment, or the Final Fantasy that deserves the Magic the Gathering treatment. And are they going to tell us that Final Fantasy Collab became the best-selling set even before it was officially released? Yes, we know, we know. Um, so the success is partially due to the inherent popularity. Wizards of the Coast needs to go to the Elder Scrolls next. Well, Elder Scrolls, and Magic the Gathering. Okay, I don't know how I feel about that one. I'm, I am not. Okay, so Elder Scrolls, Skyrim, Morrowind, all that jazz. It's how do I don't even okay, so how would you even divvy up the five colors in Elder Scrolls? Because uh just obviously the Jarl of Windheim might be something like a white. The closest thing to a white card are the Nord's whites. That's a good question. Um, like how how do we honestly? I don't know how you begin. I mean, it's possible you could do it. I don't know. Honestly, I'm kind of meh on the idea. I'm not. I would not be excited for Elder Scrolls and Magic the Gathering. I just wouldn't. I mean, I don't think they're all that compatible. Now, you could make the same argument for Final Fantasy, sure, but I mean, I'll be honest. No, no, I'm not sure about that because there are already fan made cards for Elden Ring, and that whole like fan made fantasy set for Elden Ring for Magic the Gathering has been real interesting. The Elder Scrolls, I'm not. Uh, okay, let's see how they justify this. I'm on the fence here. Considering how the Final Fantasy collaboration encouraged newcomers to play Magic the Gathering, one can only imagine how well an Elder Scrolls set would do. No, no. Uh, introducing Elder Scrolls players to Magic the Gathering would not endear them to Magic the Gathering. Those are two those are two completely different play styles and experiences that you could not compare one with the other. I hmm, And that's another thing. That's another thing that I mean, you could tell a story with some like okay, Elder Scrolls has their own magic system. They have their own like um they have their own style. They have their own schools of magic. They have divination. They have necromancy. They have illusion. They have destruction. They have already that whole type of thing. So what is this going to be like Elder Scrolls with just focusing on magic? I don't see them doing that. It'd be pretty cool if they did it that way, but no, I don't see that happening. It could form commander decks around Skyrim, Oblivion, Morrowind, and even Elder Scrolls Online, or delve deeper into the series history and look at Daggerfall and Arena for inspiration. I don't, I don't, no, no, I don't. Okay, possibly, I don't know. I'm really struggling with this one, guys. I'm not feeling this. I am not, um, I'm not impressed with their pitch here. I'm very highly skeptical. It also feels okay. They continue. It also feels like the most realistic option, considering Wizards of the Coast have already partnered with Bethesda for very good Fallout universes beyond set. I don't know if they did all as well as they think they did. That's all I'm gonna say. Um, I mean, yes, in Elder Scrolls, there's dragons, there's so on and so forth, but I'm not sure. um, I'm not sure they could really. It would be interesting to see like a basic bandit statted out as a creature in Magic: The Gathering. That would be interesting. Um, but ultimately, I am not sold on this idea. Just don't. Yeah, I don't see it. However, here's what I will say. Here's what I'm going to say about the the potential of um because it would be interesting. It would be interesting to see how they would stat out basic NPCs you would encounter things like a typical bandit as compared to the bandit leader. It would be interesting how they would stat out the different levels of vampire, how they would stat out um what's his name? The Lion Khajiit. That would be funny. Um, and it would be really interesting how they handled the how certain magic schools in Skyrim are handled. Obviously, you already have restoration, like granting basically a ward effect. That would be interesting, but I don't trust them to do it right because I'm already doing an in-depth critique of their Strixhaven can uh, campaign. What do you call them? Um, the setting books, setting manuals, where they already snuffed up their own lore. So I'm very apprehensive and skeptical about them taking on someone else's IP and knowing what the fuck they're doing. I am not. I'm not impressed by these people by any stretch of the imagination, and neither should you. So let me know in the comments what you think and how you feel about should they bring in an Elder Scroll set? I'm leaning towards no. I don't trust them. I think they're shit. That's just me though. That's it. That's my shade being thrown. Bye bye.